Hey Flower Besties, it's John here, and welcome to my plant adventures.
Hey you guys, it is John here this morning with Renly. We thought I'd give you guys a good little garden tour this morning. It's a beautiful overcast day in the beginning of May. It is so lovely out, and we've been definitely doing a lot of work in the container garden, and we can't wait to show you guys. We we switched out a lot of the stair-step benches. We've been adding in these beautiful coxcomb celotias. Look at these. This is the Brainiac Think Pink. Isn't that cool? Some of these are kind of dark down here, which is really pretty. So these will get bigger and bigger. And then we also have the Mad Magenta. Some of them have more of like a darker reddy pink color, just a really pretty color to it. Absolutely stunning. And we pack them in kind of tight because we want them to fill in. The heads might not get as big as if they were on their own, but that's totally okay. We want this to look filled in really quick. We have some celotias. This is a kimono gold celotia. I didn't realize they were going to get this tall. I probably would have picked something a little bit shorter. So I might buff those up into like a bigger container. So we have some Medusa sweet potato vines. Look how pretty those are. Absolutely gorgeous. And then we have some Calabricoa in the front here. Those are the mix it up pink. And then we have like a pink kiss Calabricoa. And then down below we have a mix of coxcombs and kind of some fun terracotta pots um, that don't fit on the stair-step bench. Well, I guess you could put the rectangular ones on the stair-step bench, but we have a lot of circular terracotta pots over there. Then over here is kind of like a staging area. We have a lot of these really pretty kawaii peppermint vincas. Look at those. We'll be adding these into the container garden in just a few weeks when there's a little bit more room over there. We have some carnations that are hanging on here, or dianthus. We will probably move these to the shade. We need to deadhead these quite a bit. So more Calabricoa, um, some sweet potato vines, coxcombs, and then some rudbeckias we'll be adding into the container garden. Once they start blooming, they're just kind of hanging out right now. We have the Sahara on the right here. This is the Sahara, that really pretty mauve color. And then over here we have the Irish Eyes, which has that yellow flower with that green chartreuse center. It's going to be so beautiful. And then in previous videos, we had this foxglove here. It was a pink panther foxglove, but it finished blooming. And we have two of these pots, so we switched it out. We had a overwintered a second year. I think this is actually its third year, but this is the Champagne 3, the Voyage Champagne 3 Lysianthus. One of our favorite Lysianthus ever, so this is going to be so pretty right here. And again, we use peony cages on all of our Lysianthus to keep them nice and upright and hold them nice and straight. We'll link those down below for you guys if you want to snag them. But you can get a peony cage for any size pot. Just make sure your diameter of your peony cages matches the diameter of your pot there. This is our second stair-step bench. Lots of Calabricoa, again, to mix it up. Pink and the lavender, absolutely stunning. And then on the top we have some marigolds. They're kind of tired. We might need to put them a little bit more shade. Some of them are kind of fried, but that's okay. We have more of the celotias, the gold celotias. I love the gold celotia with the centers of the Calabricoa. I think it's a really pretty combo there. Over here we have more Lysianthus. I don't know the exact varieties of this, but this particular one, you guys, we've had in this pot for, well, we just potted it up actually for 4 years now. So they can last 4 or 5 years if you take care of them right. And this one's clearly really happy. So we're super excited to see that one bloom. I think it's the Roseanne Black Pearl, but we will see. We will see. And then over in the main display garden, so many beautiful things. Back here we have a Mystic Spires salvia, really pretty. I wish I would have planted more of these. The hummingbirds love this salvia. So beautiful. We have some lavender as well back here. This is a Egyptian lavender or a fern leaf lavender. It does pretty well for us. This is our second year with it blooming, absolutely stunning. And then we have three dahlias, you guys. It's dahlia season right now. So these were all grown from rooted cuttings that we planted back around Valentine's Day. And they've probably been in bloom for about a week or two now. And they've done really well. So we're super excited to have these in bloom. This one's called Karma Bicolor Bronze. Look how pretty that one is. It's so gorgeous. And in the back here, we just added this Lavaterra. This is a patio pastel mix. It's supposed to be a shorter Lavaterra. I've never grown Lavaterra before, but it's kind of like an annual hollyhock, like a annual mallow, and it's really pretty. It's a mix of white and pink. I got this from Renee's Seeds, but I'm absolutely obsessed with it. I'll definitely be growing more of that next year. And this is another salvia. This is just a Victorian blue, I believe, there. But and then at the bottom, we have all of our supertunias. I did not realize we were having I think it's a budworm problem. Something's eating the buds of this petunia. And it's so funny. We grow petunias. They can be planted in like October, and they'll last really until the end of May. But we only deal with budworms in the spring, like towards the end of the spring when it gets warmer out. So we need to spray all of this with BT. They're still blooming beautifully, but you can kind of tell because there's some holes in these petals. So we'll spray these plants with BT and see if we can get rid of those petunias. We might give it a little bit of a trim too, but these were all planted from 4-inch cans back in February, so they've grown so much here. This is a dwarf dahlia too back here. This one's called Miss Mandy. How beautiful that one is. So it starts off like this, more of like this darker coral orangey color, and then it turns into this really pretty blushier peach color as it ages. Absolutely stunning, and it goes really well with this campanula. I love it with this campanula here. This is a dwarf campanula called Appeal Pink or Apella Pink, but just a great pot variety of campanula there. Absolutely obsessed with it. And it's been blooming for quite a bit. So, and then back here, this is the Hummingbird's favorite. It is another type of salvia. It's just called Purple in Bloom, and it's been really happy back here. I sit out every morning with my cup of coffee and watch the hummingbirds not drink, feed off these flowers. I guess they're drinking nectar, but they absolutely love it. These are more of the supertunias. Again, we do need to spray them with the BT, but we have the Tiara Pink at the bottom here, and they have been one of my favorite new varieties. It's new this year, but it has been draping all over the place. This is a great spiller in a container. Some of these other ones are more mounding, like the Vista Jazzberry. It's more like mounding, but this one is definitely like a carpet. So if you want something to really spill over a container or just like carpet the ground, I think the Tiara Pink, there's Tiara Blue too, but this one is a great option if you guys want that. Back here we have more dahlias, the Karma Bronze, of course. Karma Bronze, it really is dark, like a darker bronze color. Super pretty. And then, ooh, got a little hummingbird friend. And then more of the Lavaterra. It is a mix. This one seems to be all white over here. We have 3 pots. This one's mainly white. And then, yeah, more of the same flowers, more campanula, more of the dahlias. We have some white swan marigolds. These are really pretty. Gorgeous. Just a more creamy color one. We have a dianthus down there. We don't know the name of that dianthus, but it's done really well for us. We actually found it at the clearance rack at the garden center. And then we have some zinnias that are growing. This is a dwarf variety. I believe it's short stuff, but it's a dwarf compact variety that'll do really well for us in this container garden. And then back here, you guys, one more thing. We planted up the Mahogany Splendors hibiscus. These are one of our favorite flowers, not flowers, foliage plants that will kind of line the whole back of the container garden and get nice and tall, give us some really good height. For our summer and our fall garden, it transitions beautifully. We loved putting all of our celotias and grasses and millet in front of this last year. It was so beautiful. And then in front of it, we're lining up our Lysianthus all here just to get them ready to bloom, ready for blooming. I don't know the varieties of these, but these were all planted last year or the year before. They're at least 2 years old or 1 year old. So they'll usually bloom for us. The second year varieties will bloom for us in like late May or June. And then the first year planted ones, like the ones we just planted this year, will bloom for us in July. So it's a great succession planting, having all of those Lysianthus for us. So we have all of these containers. we're just waiting for these to get some height. We had some snapdragons in all of these pots, so we missed the giant, beautiful height back here, but it will come very quickly. These grow in very fast. This is our third stair-step bench over here. We have two lisianthus that flank here. I believe these are the like lilac or lavender lisianthus, so that'll be really pretty when these start to bloom. Again, more dahlias, the Miss Mandy. We need to deadhead this one, but ugh, it is so pretty. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Again, more petunias down here. We do need to spray this with BT. As you can see, something's definitely eating these buds, but this is the Bordeaux. What are you doing? She's trying to eat the tree. More of the coxcombs over here. The Think Pink and the Mad Magenta. Some of these magenta ones are actually kind of big, so those are really pretty. Cannot wait for all of those to fill in. And again, more dahlias over here, more calibrachoa. And then the last bench is kind of more of the same, more lisianthus we have over here. I think this is the Roseanne Brown. The Roseanne Brown lisianthus. And then more calibrachoa. We're going to spray the calibrachoa with BT too. Some of them are actually having the same issue, which makes sense because they're in the petunia family, but they'll be back up and running in no time once they get sprayed. It's really fast when you spray with BT. It's I don't remember what it stands for, but it's a organic solution to getting rid of caterpillars that will eat, like budworms that eat the buds of your flowers. So over here, more of the same, two more lisianthus pots over here, and that we planted last year, and then some hibiscus. This is one that actually overwintered. They are tender perennials here. If we don't have a super cold winter, they will come back from stems or even the roots. The roots are hardy here, but look at this, you guys. It is flowering. I've never seen it flower in the month of May, but look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I'm obsessed with this flower. It usually doesn't flower until like Thanksgiving. It just grows foliage all summer long. But this was a really sweet surprise. So we might move this into, well, actually, I think we'll leave it right here. It's a good base foliage to have in the container garden. So over here is more of like a staging area. We have more lisianthus that will be tucking into the container garden once we have a little bit more room over here, but these are some overwintered ones that we had last year. But sometimes we lose a few plants in the pots. Like here we have 2 plants left. This one's probably about 3 years old. So sometimes over the winter you will lose plants just because if the pot gets a little wet, sometimes they might rot or something like that. But that's totally okay. We accept that sometimes. So we definitely overplant them. This one was just planted this year. This is an 18.5-inch pot, and we planted 16 of them in here, very tight together. Really, lisianthus don't get too wide. They just grow like straight up and vertical. So we pinched them about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, and now they're pushing out tons of growth here. We do feed them quite consistently so that they do grow quickly. So we'll put a peony cage on this in probably the next week or two so they have some support there. So over here we planted some more just so that we have some more flowers later on this summer. Over here we have some amaryllis. These are actually ones that we've had for quite some years. They are just starting to bloom. I'll show you guys. We got a bud on this one, so maybe I'll put that in the container garden. But look over there, you guys. Aren't these gorgeous? Absolutely pretty. This one's called Mandala, that pretty dark red one that we had blooming for Christmas. Gosh, not this year, but the Christmas of 23, so like a year and a half ago. They'll start blooming in their natural blooming cycle, so we force them to bloom for Christmas. They naturally bloom in the springtime, not during Christmas. So a lot of these bulbs come from South America when they're naturally blooming. Then we ship them here and they bloom for Christmas for us. So mixed in with the amaryllis, we just kind of put them up here for the shade container garden when they're blooming, and then we'll put them kind of back into their storage area. But we have some really pretty New Guinean patience, like a lavender one over there towards the end. We have some coleus. This one's the wizard green or wizard, I don't remember exactly, but it's a wizard one with that really pretty white and green. I love using this one for spring because it's really just more, light and pastel. It matches all of the flowers for springtime. This one's Apple Blossom. Of course, this is a classic. I really need to grow more of these. They're beautiful for springtime. Of course, we have dragonwing begonias. This is a rose color dragonwing. How pretty that is. We have some regular impatiens, like a salmon coral impatient. And then kind of more of the same, more of the coleus down here. We have some lamia. I don't know if this will survive our summer, but we bought this as kind of like a winter plant. So if it does, great. And if it doesn't, that's totally okay. More amaryllis, more coleus. And we have a ton of amaryllis over here that are just waiting to bud out. And then some shamrocks we got from our friend Shanti at Woodstone Farms. She sells flowers, but she also sells some really pretty plants. Amaryllis, this is a cordyline. I've had it outside for about a year now. They do good in the shade, actually. And then we have this really pretty ivy that we trained into like a little hoop here. So that one's really cute. Okay, so these are more shade plants that we have over here. Lots of coleus. Y'all know I love coleus. Again, we go for more because we can grow them in the spring and grow them in the fall. So in the springtime, I always go for more brighter spring colors, so rose tones, roses, pinks, whites, more neutral pastel colors. And in the fall, we do more like autumnals, like burgundies, oranges, like dark purples that kind of match the seasons a little bit more. And we have tons of these gorgeous Easter lilies. Look at these, you guys. We brought a bunch inside just to enjoy them indoors. But they usually don't bloom for Easter for us. They bloom usually on Mother's Day, so they're a little bit early this year, which is honestly such a treat. And they smell amazing. But I love Easter lilies. They're really easy to grow. We planted them, gosh, around Christmas or New Year's, around then, from bulbs, just like a lily bulb, and this is when they usually bloom for us. So we absolutely love having them here. Over here we have more, just kind of like some succulents, some snake plants. We need to like thin those out. Some elephant food, some more coleus, and then we have a fuchsia down at the bottom there. I love fuchsias. I want to show you guys the back container garden over here. We just potted up all of these beautiful plants underneath the tree. We had some cyclamen under here, but they were looking kind of rough. They do not like the heat at all, the cyclamen. So we switched them out with some more warm-loving things. Now, I don't know if everything will survive the summer, but we kind of just wanted a nice little refresh. But we have some coleus. I don't have varieties of these coleus, but how pretty that one's. More of like a rose tone one. Gorgeous. Some more coleus over here with like a green and purple like fishnet look. Some caladiums. This one's the frog in the blender. Frog in a blender. What a funny name. But I can see why they called it that. Just a really pretty marbled chartreuse green mix. Just really pretty. We added a ton of sweet potato vines. These are all the Medusa sweet potato vines. Beautiful. And then the cherry sweet tart caladium. That one's another great shade option. And then we kind of carried along the same thing. Lots of different caladiums over here. We have the Florida Elsie, that pink caladium back there. And then some more coleus up there. We do have a giant philodendron over here that we love. I love this one. Look how pretty this is. Just a great shade plant underneath this tree. Sometimes it gets burned a little bit in the summertime, but it always grows back beautiful new leaves here. So when I did an internship in Florida, these were everywhere. This is called Siloam, is its nickname, but they're actually kind of cold hardy. Not like a tropical, well, it is a tropical plant, but they can take a light freeze. They might die back, but they'll come back perfectly. I'll show you guys the side of our house and all the plants that we have in the backyard. These are all the plants that we'll either use for installations or they're growing out to put in the container garden here. Okay, so this is our nursery, like a little nursery section, but we have tons of like perennials over here. So rudbeckias, we have some yarrows that we'll use on like installations at clients' houses. We have some self-seeded scabiosa. Look at this, you guys. That's pretty. I'll get a close-up on that. It's like a blue one. I absolutely love this flower. Called a pincushion flower is its nickname, but I didn't even plant that, so it's a nice little treat back there. What are you eating, Rose? You eating some grass? She loves doing that. Over here we have all of the Lisianthus that we started from seed with you guys. These are the, oh, what's happening here? This is the Julietta Blue. So it's a dwarf blue one, but it's a double variety. So I'm super excited about that. We have that one, and then we have the Florida blue one as well. And then here we have more zinnias. Look at these. They're just starting to bloom. This one's called Dreamland Pink. Again, another dwarf variety. They will get bigger, fluffier flowers. The first ones are always a little bit smaller, but they will get much bigger than that. So we have those. More of the Julietta Pink or Julietta Blue down here. But look at these, you guys. They're just about. They're setting up. You see these buds? Oh, I guess we can't really see them. No buds yet, but they are getting very healthy. They'll be blooming in no time. We have more Lisianthus pots over here that we started. This is the first year ones that we put in here. We have the Arosa Champagne, and then we have the Rosita Red over here, and then we have the Celeb Madonna. So that one's like the dark like raspberry one. That's gonna be really pretty. And they just sit underneath our orange tree until they're blooming. So we have a peach tree, you guys. This is super exciting. Look at this peach tree. Aren't these beautiful? Now, they're not quite ready yet. They'll be ready in about, I want to say like a week or two, but they are very close. They need to get a little bit bigger. This one's called May Pride. Well, I think it's because it's ready in May, but one of our favorite peach trees. Well, I guess this is really the only peach tree we have, but we've had this one for about 3 years now, and it's just a great, great tree that we have around here. Underneath of the peach tree, we do have some mums back here. I don't really, I really need to take care of them a little bit better, but these mums are really pretty in the fall, and they're really easy to propagate too. But anyways, that's for a later video. Over here we have some roses, some angelonia. This is a really pretty one. I don't know the name of this one. It's like a pink, bicolor pink and white one. That one's going to be really pretty for spring. This one's a new one called Berry Sparkler. Look at this. See that? It's like a close-up, like a bicolor pink and purple. That one's going to be really pretty. And then black, we have a black angelonia over here. This one's a little bit shorter, but this one's new. Super excited about that one. These are some bigger peppers that we are starting here. This one's a black, I think black pearl, black oxen. I'll figure out. It's like little tiny red peppers on it. Sedona Sunset over here. This one's kind of like more of like a mid-size orange and yellow one. And then in the back here we have some fireworks gomphrena that we'll be planting up at a client's house. Look at that. These are huge plants. We started these from seed probably about 2 months ago. We bumped them up about a month ago, and they are loving life. Okay, so this is the rest of our shade garden over here. Just a lot of plants that we put on these little benches that we move around. I don't know what these are called. Stands, plant stands. But more begonias, the dragonwing begonias, more of the wizard coleus over there. I love how it drapes. We actually have this is a vinca vine, you guys, but it's growing in like the crack of our, like the foundation, I guess, of our house. I know these are kind of invasive in other parts of the country. I know the roots won't destroy the house because it's not like a tree, but we kind of trim it up and keep it nice and green over here. It's actually really pretty to tuck in all of the flowers inside of it. We do have a few wire vines on some of the plants. These are another great option for like a greenery in the shade. Absolutely beautiful. I love a good wire vine. So we have more impatiens down here, more of the hoop ivies. We have more of the New Guinean patience. Look at those. Aren't those pretty? Love, love, love that lavender color. And then down below we have some coleus. This is the chocolate drops coleus, just a really pretty textural plant down there as well. Super pretty. And then we have, this is a Lady Plymouth geranium. I didn't grow a lot of her this year. I really should have grown more of her, but she smells amazing. Just a nice scented geranium. She makes these really pretty pink lavender flowers. And then this is the last plant stand with more of the rose dragonwing begonia, some ivy, coleus, more begonias down here. and then some oxalis. I really should have grown more of that oxalis. I love that purple color in the spring garden. So I'll show you guys the seedlings that we have on the side of our house, and some more of like the containers that we'll use on the stair-step bench later. We have these coxcombs, more of the coxcombs, the think pink coxcombs here. Florida blue lisianthus over here. This one's like a single blue one. Still really pretty. That we'll use on the stair-step bench. We have sunflowers, you guys. We put these cages, or not cages, bulb crates on top of them to protect them. And as you can see, they did get a few nibbles on them from like birds or something like that. But these are dwarf sunflowers that'll be cute in the container garden. These are more a succession planting of dwarf zinnias over here. That will be great in the container garden. We have more of the coxcombs back here. Super pretty. And then just more roses, kind of like some stock plants for projects back here. Lisianthus, more of the black angelonias, vincas. That's the this is the kawaii vinca. Love that. And yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. More vincas over here. Oh, I have to show you this one. This is a double vinca. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I've never seen a double vinca like that. So that'll be pretty. I'm going to test that one out and see how that does for us. Lots of trailing vincas back here. Kawaii vinca. I love trailing vincas in a container. Just imagine this spilling over. Beautiful draping. Draping beautifully over a container. I'll actually show you guys the ones out front because they are absolutely beautiful. We planted them about 2 weeks ago. And I can't wait to show you. Okay, so we do need to level out all these pots. We're getting some of the irrigation work done, so we didn't really want to fuss with it just yet. But we have lots of the Medusa sweet potato vines, the trailing vinca. We have the apricot and the strawberry right here. Super pretty. This is a rose pentas. Kawaii vincas over here, and then more of the coxcombs tucked in here. These are going to be so pretty, you guys. And we kind of made all of these a little bit different, but yet a little cohesive, so they all match. We have some angelonias, the berry sparklers ones. We have a violet pentas, purple trailing vinca, more of the coxcombs, sweet potato vine, and then yeah, more of the same sweet potato vines, coxcombs, and then over here we have the pink angelonia, trailing vincas, coxcombs, Medusa, sweet potato vines. So, anyways, you guys, they look so good. They have filled in so beautifully so far, and I cannot wait. Even in like 2 weeks, this thing is going to be absolutely beautiful. So, thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see y'all in the next video.